What's up, fam? Welcome to another episode of Lust. I'm your host, Nick. We got the panel on here. Today's topics is from Tanya and Travis, and we are going to talk about, can you be in love and be unhappy at the same time? And how do you ask outside folks to respect your relationship? So we're going to start. Can you be in love and be unhappy at the same time?
Most definitely you can. Couples do it all the time. However, they don't speak about it because they fear judgment from another person. But when you're unhappy in a relationship, that does not, in the relationship, but you're in love, that does not warrant an indication of something's wrong in the relationship. So we have to understand that as well.
Yeah. I mean, I believe relationships go through stages. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not. But communication is the key. What are your thoughts, guys?
I mean, it's true. I mean, you can be unhappy. Just because you're unhappy doesn't mean you're not in love. I mean, so you can be unhappy about some little stuff. It can be some big stuff, but as long as you bring it back around and you know that you still love that person, you know, that doesn't mean you go crazy over it. You don't go crazy about being unhappy. And like you said, communicate and talk. And then, you know what I'm saying, like they say, time heals all wounds, you know. Give it time, figure out, talk about it, you know, do some healing between the two of y'all. Most of that stuff will usually be all right, especially if you want to stay together. Now, if you're in a situation where you're unhappy and you're not in love and you're ready to bounce, then yeah, it's going to turn into one of those things where unhappy is going to lead you down a whole nother road. But if you in love and you trying to stay together, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to be all right.
Yeah. Identify the issues. Go ahead, Juanita or Trav.
Oh, I agree with what Steve said. I definitely think that you can be unhappy and still be in love. I think that there's two things that are, I think it's two separate issues of why you're not happy with something. And I think that it needs to be discussed and talked about. So therefore, if you're in a relationship, what you're unhappy about can be fulfilled. But a lot of people put their happiness into their partner. And I think I don't think that's a mistake, but I think that when you put your happiness into someone else, that's not necessarily a good thing. Mm-hmm. But if you're happy within yourself and you find genuine joy within yourself, then and then you're able to communicate with your partner what's making you unhappy, I think that would help the situation. I don't think that you should just leave a relationship because you're unhappy with things that are happening, unless it's harmful or hurtful to you. But I definitely think that you can be happy, or you can be unhappy with something, but still be in love with that person. Yes.
What about you, Trav?
Tonight I'm going to exercise allowing my people to speak freely without jumping in. But I want to say what you all are saying is, for the most part, it is some bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why. Y'all, men don't talk like this. Like we don't. And I love being on the show, but the last little thing that Nita said, she said, I agree. It's bigger than yourself. So when you say you're unhappy in a relationship, I think if you're upset with the person, that's one thing. But if you're unhappy, that's not something that men do. Men, we just don't say, oh, I'm unhappy.
Don't say men.
Most men don't do that.
Nah, because you know, so let me speak on that. You know, for me personally, like I know me and my wife, like I said, we've been married for 10 years. And it ain't been no easy 10 years. It's been some unhappy in there, legit unhappy. But the thing is that when I think about it at the end of the day, you know, what does she mean to me? What does she mean to my life? And I look at it differently. To kind of speak on both topics, like I could care what anybody else got to say about my relationship, because the only thing that matters to me is what we think about it, how we feel about it. And if it's worth it, then I put the time and the effort into it. Now, not everybody's not, I'm going to tell y'all, not everybody's going to understand what that is. And I don't expect, you know what I'm saying, I respect what Trav said, even though we can agree to disagree on this. But the thing about it is just that nobody can speak for somebody else's thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is in their own lane. Like, even though I feel the way I feel, Trav can completely say that he feels like men don't speak like that because that's not his experience. You know,
Right.
that's not the way he came about it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't fault him because he don't understand what I go through and what my relationship and my love for, you know what I'm saying, for my situation is like.
Steve,
So,
Steve,
it's cool.
Steve, not to cut you off. My question is
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what happened, but
Keep it
Steve, my question to you is, will you being unhappy cause you to go and sever the relationship? Or is it bigger than you? The marriage, is it bigger than you?
No, I think everything starts with, I think you have to look at it at another level that, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you happy with yourself? Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything starts with you. And am I happy? Am I doing the things I need to do to make myself happy? You know what I'm saying? Self-care, all that other stuff. And then after that, you know what I'm saying? Everything else should complement that.
Did
Usually
you just
when
say
I'm good,
self-care?
everything else falls into place for me.
Did you just
I'm
say
just talking about me
self-care?
personally. Huh? Yeah, self-care. Like all that. You take care of yourself, make sure your mentals is good, take care of your chickens, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, like it's levels to it. Because if you're not right, how you gonna be right for somebody else? Things will be unhappy. Things will turn.
I agree.
You.
I agree with you. But that's not, I mean, and you know, that's not with you, but I'm just saying in general, women sever relationships because they're not happy. I don't care. I don't necessarily care about you happy. I want you to be, ain't nobody tell you marriage is gonna be roses. I want you to be an adult and take care of your family, and your kids come first over that. My personal happiness, because I would be a father and a husband to a woman. My personal happiness does not supersede the families. I'm gonna do what's right for them first. Period. So I don't really understand when I hear people say that, like, "Oh, I want to be happy" and all that. That doesn't make sense to me.
Let me ask you this question, Trav, to go
Okay.
back right quick. Hold on, Nick. So if you're not good, how everybody else gonna be good?
I'm gonna be good. I'm the leader of the bunch.
But you say you said everything else supersedes that. Am I correct? Did you say that?
No, but I'm saying if I'm saying I want to go out and I want to live a certain life, but it's not conducive to us having a positive family, I'm not gonna do that. That's all I'm saying. I see when it got. I'm not. If it's more important to me to be at the crib because you got to take your job got you doing a project over the weekend, I'm not gonna let immaturity of saying, "Oh, well, I want," and you got to understand, I'm an advocate for men. But if your family needs you at the crib, keep your ass at home.
I agree with that.
Go ahead, Tanya.
Let me say something. Travis, you said you're an advocate for men.
Period.
Wow. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wow. They have chosen the wrong advocate, because the way you think is acidon. You think backwards. You think that you guys don't walk. You think that men walk around with hard penises and rather than soft penises. No, bro. Everybody has feelings. Everybody has emotions. So you can't sit and say 90% of the time it's women that's breaking up the relationship. No, boo-boo, it's men. And we need to get that right. Again, as I stated before on the previous show, that women, we're outward with our emotion, and men hide behind the scene with theirs.
Mm.
And you're gonna die alone too.
We're not gonna die alone. Trust and believe we're not gonna die alone.
Yeah.
There you are. You will.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me hit. Hey, Tootie.
I think both.
Hey, Tootie, what's happening?
And Tootie, today's topic is going to be, can you be in love and be unhappy at the same time? That's what we're on right now. And the second half is going to be, how do you ask outside folks to respect your relationship? So right now, can you be in love and be unhappy at the same time?
I think if you have a unhealthy sense of what love's supposed to look like, you may think you're in love in an unhealthy relationship, and you may think that you're happy if you don't know what love really looks like.
Mm-hmm.
The longest relationship that I was in was like 3.5 years, and I loved him, but I didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to say, I'm a person. I'm patient with people. I used to be more patient than I am now. Like now, I'm like, fuck y'all. But no, seriously, but that's my go-to. But oh, fuck this, honey, please, I'm not.
Right.
But I
Tootie.
gave him an opportunity
Right.
to,
Tootie,
yes,
Hold on. Let her talk. Let her talk, Trav.
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to ask one question. I'm gonna shut up. You said you loved him, but you didn't like him.
at all. Mm-mm.
What?
Mm-mm.
That's
I loved him, but I didn't like him.
I mean, that
crazy
sounds a little
shit I've
past
heard.
unhappy, but yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say this. Okay, so when we were good, we were great, but when we were bad, we were terrible. And in the final phase of our entanglement, I figured it
No,
out.
come
I was
on, man.
like,
We
what
not
is
gonna
it?
we not
Oh,
gonna do that.
God.
Let
We're
me,
not
I'm
using
gonna allow me to
entanglement.
finish.
Steve, let her
Allow me to finish.
Let her finish. Mm-hmm.
So in the final phases of our relationship, or whatever you want to call it, I figured out, I was like, what is it about him? And what I figured out, because I had to do work within myself to get to the bottom of whatever it was. And the issue, this is the thing, he was so much like my dad. And I think me dealing with him was trying to figure out what it was about me that I didn't feel like my dad loved. And
Right.
that's why I held on to him. So I loved him, but I didn't like him as a person. And I was young at the time. I'm in my late teens, early 20s. And you still trying to figure out who you are, and you still trying to figure out like how this thing's supposed to work, so on and so forth. And you can't do it if you don't understand what it's supposed to look like. So in my head, it's like all of these like rainbows and butterflies and all of this stuff. Nobody ever talked about that. Hey, the rain came down and made the ground muddy. So it's like I didn't understand the bad part versus the good part, and that I actually was gonna have to fight him because he was a person that needed a lot of attention. And I'm a person, when I think you're stupid, I ignore you. So we didn't have effective communication.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't. Like, I'm honest about it. Because I'm like, oh, you a jackass. And that's all I'm gonna say about whatever that subject is. And I let you be just that. I will let you paint whatever picture of yourself you want to paint. And I believe it. Exactly what you show me is what I believe. But I'm in my early 20s at that time.
Right.
So when we parted ways, it was like, yeah, I still do love you, but I don't want to be around you because I'm sure I don't like you as a person. I don't like the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how that is.
I get that.
What's your question, Steve?
Hell, I done forgot now.
Good. It was.
I mean, there was a lot to take in that.
No.
whole-
I stayed with her the whole time. It's just
I listened to it, but I just forgot what I was listening. I forgot what I had to
heard
say.
in my life, but you know,
See,
You said what?
that's the pea pod. That's the pea pods. Okay. Ask yourself, if today is my last day on this earth, and am I in the relationship that I should be in?
Yeah.
And
Well, considering that I'm not in a relationship, I don't know. You know, so I can't answer that question.
mm-hmm.
that's the best answer you probably given in a while.
You know what, Travis, with your
Wow.
acidine ass? I need you to hush.
War of the Roses.
Hey, boy, y'all are definitely on each end of the spectrum.
No, I
Just
mean,
having-
That War of the
she-
Roses.
Steve, she can't hear what I'm saying. I'm trying to help her. She don't want my tutelage. So that's her fault.
I think
Here's the thing.
I think the biggest part of this is y'all gotta meet in the middle somewhere. I think you gotta put down your shield, take off your armor for a minute. She gotta take down her shield, put down her armor, and y'all gotta meet in the middle and have an honest conversation with each other
I'm not
about.
taking off shit. When a man sit here and tell me that it's all the woman's fault, if you was listening to what Tootie said, hold on. If you was listening with your listening ears, what Tootie was saying is that he needed much of her attention.
That was her
Men
job.
are needy. Hold on. Men are needy.
Hold on, Trav. Let her talk.
Men are needy, and they take majority of your time because they're so damn needy.
It's your job.
And Trav is out to make them seem like, I'm hardcore. Hell to the no. That is not true.
That's your job.
I have a question
And
for you,
there's
Travis.
two sides to
There's
every
no
coin,
job.
though.
Travis, let me
Okay.
ask you this question.
It's your job.
If you say it's my job to give my man attention,
Right.
okay, I'm cool with it. Because
Oh.
to a certain extent, it is, right?
Right.
But my question is, how do you Okay, would you date a woman that wasn't a productive woman? Like she had no life goals, nothing to do, she didn't have any, she wasn't pursuing anything. So would you date a woman like that? Or would you focus on what it is that you're working on in your life and keep dragging this dead weight behind you or carrying that dead weight? And like you can't focus on progress because you over here trying to love somebody that don't give a shit about whatever it is the end goal should be because they don't have an idea of what they want. That's when I say he needed too much of my attention. He didn't want to do shit. His biggest issue with me was he was trying to make me start smoking with him. But why am I smoking with you if you don't show me shit? You see what I'm saying?
Listen,
And so it's really unfair for you to say, well, that's your job.
No,
You
let me
give
let
women
me
give
let me
their
let me
attention
respond,
to
Tony.
men that are deserving of it.
Let me respond. I agree with you. No, I do not
Okay.
want to do. I don't want to do nothing, woman. But
Okay.
in that, my purpose is more important because my purpose is going to aid our relationship. Whatever we
But
do.
if he didn't have a purpose, why the fuck am I following him? That's a
Oh,
fool
okay,
in the fire.
okay,
That's a
okay.
fool smoking a cigarette in the firecracker stand.
hold
I
on,
ain't going in there to catch on fire.
Okay,
hold on.
but Tootie, last thing. If you my woman, your job is to completely be absorbed by me because I'm gonna take care of us.
Okay, on
I
that note,
don't know you to trust it
On
from you.
that note, I need y'all to listen to something. This is something that I found, and this is like kind of like Travis's way of thinking, but I need
Oh,
y'all to listen to this and tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me if you can hear it, first of all.
I come home, I pay for everything. You have nothing to worry about financially. I take care of you. And they use that sometimes as an excuse to sometimes do bad things. And I think what a lot of men don't realize is just like how you have dreams, your wife has a dream too.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to the wife to constantly put her dreams on the back burner in order for you to feel secure. Right. Because when I look at Letitia and I look at what a lot of women go through, it reminds me of things that I've seen in my family. And it pains me to know that a woman cannot oftentimes live her life because if she does, it's at the cost of her husband. And what I want you
Let me please, I have to finish that. No.
Your woman is becoming the person she was destined to be because it's not fair that she has to hold down her passions because she fears that these women on the streets are going to come in and take my situation because I dare to dream. A lot of successful men.
All right, let me go off the muscle. The reason he thinks like that, because he's a woman. So he's giving advice whoever is talking. He's a woman. So that's why he's speaking that way.
That's Travis, that's not it.
Yes, that is the truth. Men don't speak like that. He's a woman.
No,
was that we just listened
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's a woman. He thinks like a woman. He probably sits down when he pees like a woman. So he acts like that. Stop playing. I said it.
Stop it. That's not it.
I'm not gonna stop playing.
Listen,
you can't.
Okay, you're speaking your truth. Look.
Why you always lying?
A man.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Okay, I had to do that. That's Travis Button. But anyway, Trav.
Usually a man can't handle the truth from another man.
Is gay. That man is gay.
What they want to
that man
do
is gay. That man is gay.
It doesn't matter.
Hold up. What they
It don't matter.
Hold on,
okay.
Go ahead, Tanya.
What they want to do is call someone that's educated and so wise. They want to put him on. No.
Go ahead.
No. What he wants to do, Travis wants to do, is call out names and call someone that's well educated names. But that's further from the truth. That makes Travis look like, as they call the alpha and beta, that makes him look like more of a beta male than anything because he cannot handle the truth.
But the fact that he got up and walked away is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Now hold up. Now I want to be honest with you. Like I listen to dude too. I don't necessarily agree with his perspective on things. Now the issue that I have with it sounds like he's trying to make more of a statement to grab somebody's attention than he is just trying to spit knowledge on the strength that not every man is like what he's saying. But every man is not like what dude is talking about, because you know what? There's some women that really strive for success, and sometimes men take that ride with them. It doesn't mean that they're not alpha. It doesn't mean that they're still not the man of their household. But you know, they take the ride with the woman because the woman has real dreams. And sometimes it's the flip. Women take the ride with the man because the man has real dreams. Now, at some point in time, you know, you have to grow up in your relationships and understand where you at. You know, and some people can stay together through that. Some people can't. It's just one of those things, like you said, if you're really in love with somebody and not just having love for them, then sometimes it makes a difference for folks. But in that gentleman's situation, you know, I think he's just trying to grab somebody's attention by saying what he said.
Regardless,
But you know, that's his truth.
listen,
That's him speaking what he feels is real. That doesn't mean that it pertains to every man, because not every man is coming from this perspective that he is. And nobody, and I don't even know who the
my
dude
thing
was,
is,
but I would
Steve,
love to put a
right,
name to the face.
my thing is, folks really feel like that. A lot of women really feel the way he was talking. A lot of men do the things that he says, and men don't realize it. I unmuted you, Trav, but I'm just saying, it doesn't matter if he's gay. It doesn't matter if he's straight. No, listen, it does not matter, because I'm born and raised in San Diego. I love my city. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. But you motherfucking, this is the kind of men I know. So
Well,
there are some men out there. Go ahead, Lanita.
I felt what he was saying, not just because I'm a woman, but I really understood what he was saying, because a lot of women, I'm gonna just say, I'm not even gonna say a lot of women, I'm gonna say me. In my last relationship, I conformed a lot, and I allowed a lot of things that transpired that benefited him and not me. And there was a lot of things that I put on the back burner in order to make sure that he was happy, and that still wasn't good enough. And I didn't realize me building him up or me making sure that he was happy really affected me, because my happiness I was giving it away. So I understood a lot of what he was saying, because that happiness, that support wasn't reciprocated. It didn't come back to me. I was just pouring into that other person. So when it was my time, when it was actually my time to be like, okay, now it's my time, you got to where you're at and I supported you. When it was my turn to do what I needed to do, he wanted to leave, or didn't. It was pretty much, he had called it quits when it was my time to do things that I needed to do for myself.
Okay. What, Steve? What you shaking your head for?
Man, this is one of them opportunities that I don't agree with how everybody, as far as, men are perpetrators, some of these, because not everybody does that. Like when I was younger, I could see some of those traits that y'all talking about when I was younger. But then, like you said, when she got an opportunity, like even when I was facing that same situation, instead of leaving, I was like, nah, what you want to do? I want to help support you. You supported me. How can I support you?
Right.
I know it's not gonna always be what I like, and it's not gonna be something I may want to do. But you know what I'm saying? She's pumped, when my wife pumped me up, she pumped me up. Like, that's legit. I respected her for that. So I was like, when I finally was mature enough, I'm not gonna say old enough, when I was finally mature enough myself, I went ahead and said, like, what you want to do so I can help you do it. Like business, whatever you want, I need to help you do that. And I don't know if she took me serious at first, because like I said, maturity is a big thing when it comes to when you finally get mature enough.
Yeah.
But it got to a point where she finally trusted it, and I pushed her as much as she allowed me to. It's just one of those things. But everybody looks at it differently. Not everybody's sometimes you can't get to the same point together. Like sometimes the women will be more mature than the men, and the men are more mature than the women. And then you can't always make it to the point where they all on the same page together. And that's where stuff goes sideways. I've been blessed to be where I'm at right now.
Right.
Although everything's not perfect, but
hold on.
I'm good.
On that note, with this first subject, I'm going to say, ask yourself, if today is my last day, I'm going to read this, y'all. If today is my last day, can I say that I'm in the relationship that I want to be in, that I deserve to be in? If the answers are no, acknowledge that what you want does matter and that it ultimately might be worth ending your relationship. If the answers are yes, you need to seek within as to why you are not happy. Identify the issues that are bothering you, discuss them with your partner, and work together for solutions, because it could just be you. Now we're going to go to our second subject, which is Travis's topic. How do you ask outside folks to respect your relationship?
Don't put them in your
Tell them
business.
to mind your business.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
that doesn't take a lot. Because
Well-
the thing is, when people feel like their opinion matters, they have a whole lot of stuff to say. But don't give them shit to say, because you don't need to be putting everybody in your business, because you don't lay with everybody. You lay with this one person. And if that's not working for you, then you need to get up and haul ass. But when you put people in your business, you invite a whole lot of everything. So now you shut your face. I don't think that's hard to do. I think that's common sense, but I'm sorry.
And you know, the thing about it too, you know, everybody vents, men and women, we vent because we're human beings. So we do that. When we cannot speak to our spouse or our partner, we vent.
Yeah.
Gossiping is a number one thing. And so if you don't want anyone in your relationship, stop gossiping. Stop telling your business. Stop having diarrhea at the mouth.
Go ahead, Trav.
With that, I think you draw a line in the sand and you make everybody, and I mean everybody, stand on the other side. So if you're a man and you have a mother that is meddling in your relationship, you tell your mom to stand back, because your mom ain't a part of your vows. Tell her to
100%.
tell your mother to stand back. So when I tell my mom to step back, if you got a brother that's overstepped, as a woman, if your brother is overstepping, I'm gonna tell him to get the hell back. Because I ain't gonna, if I tell my mama, you gonna tell your brother, get the hell back. That's how I feel about it. There's no male friend or none of that that's gonna supersede, because they ain't writing no checks. I'm just gonna put it out there. That's the way I feel.
Okay.
Now, as far as the last thing what Tanya was saying, the only thing to that, Tanya, I'll say is this: men don't sit around and drink wine and pizza and tell you, you can do better, girl, you better leave. Your homeboy be like, I don't know if you want to do that. It's cheaper to keep her. You might want to keep your family. Women will encourage another woman to leave, but men don't do that. But still, get the hell back. That's my opinion.
Travis, I agree with everything you just said.
Not the
except
last
for the part. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, except for the last part, because a man that's venting to his best friend, they're not going to necessarily say, oh, it's cheaper to keep her, you need to keep your family together, especially if he's in a situation and he's divorcing or breaking up.
Have you been with just where there's all men?
Hold on.
Setback?
You better tell him, Steve.
Hold on.
No, I'm just being honest with you.
Hold on. Hold on. Let her finish what she was saying. Go ahead.
Yes, I have heard conversations with a man and another man, and I've heard them say, well, if you're not happy, then you need to leave. So I've heard that. It didn't matter to some men, it doesn't matter that it's cheaper to keep her. They'd rather write the check and call it their freedom and then leave. So I've had women talk to me and be and we can have conversations among women, and the woman's not gonna be like, oh, you could do better, you could do better. We don't have those kind of conversations, because we'll try to figure out a solution to keep our families before it's let's go, or you got to leave, you could do better. We don't do that. We don't just get up and leave, because we are way emotionally attached to our relationships, to our families, before we decide to get up and leave. I don't know the percentages, but I'm gonna tell you, I believe more men divorce their wives before a wife will divorce the man.
Exactly.
No, that's not true.
Hold on.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Hold on. Go ahead, Tootie.
I have a cousin who got married, and Travis, for once, I'm gonna kind of ride with you a little bit. She was getting married, and her dad asked the guy she was gonna marry, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?" And I'm like, damn. If your daddy asked your soon-to-be husband, "Are you sure you want to marry her?" That's saying a lot. Because he was aware of who his daughter was and the kind of shit she do. And so, yeah, I know women that'll tell another woman, yeah, you can do better than that. Because the thing is, everybody wants something better for the next person, right? But if you with a guy, because like me, I'm gonna tell you two things I don't play about. The first one, being my money. I will cut you over my purse. Because don't nothing get cut off in my house. Because what? I get up and kickbox with bills, by my damn self, and everything is off. I don't play with no man about no money.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you got a guy that's not taking care of you and the kids or whatever it is, you probably can get your ass up and move around, because if your attachment is for financial support, not that it's love, but if you need somebody to take care of you, and if that guy is not doing it, you damn right we're gonna tell you to get up and move around. Because the one thing about women don't want their daughters, if they have one, to go through the same crap that they're going through, or even make them think that there's something that they have to tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I see it from both angles, but yeah, women will tell another woman that you probably need to get your ass up and move around if you're dealing with somebody that ain't doing nothing but bringing dick. Like it's you still gotta eat. Like dick ain't paying your light bill.
Like Nisha,
So
dick
Right, but it's
I'm sorry.
yeah, I agree with you, Tootie. I think it has a lot to do with. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve.
All right, now.
Not both hands.
I know, right?
Yeah, both. Hey, I've been sitting here waiting for a minute, but I've been listening to them as well. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So if, as a man, you know what I'm saying, the biggest thing that you gotta understand is that you are the company that you keep. If you got a bunch of dudes that ain't about nothing around you, okay, then yeah, you might hear some of those comments. But if you got guys on the same level as you, or you got a circle of guys that, you know what I'm saying, that are above you or where you aspiring to reach to, them is the guys that's gonna tell you the truth. They're gonna be honest with you. They're gonna tell you from their experiences that, hey, bro, like, you sure you're making the right move? They'll be like, hey, was you tripping? They'll tell you the honest, like, hey, are you the wrong person? Are you doing what you need to do? And then, you know what I'm saying? And we'll break down a whole thing. It just sounds different than the way y'all do it. We ain't chopping up with wine, and we, you know what I'm saying? We might be hanging out there drinking or whatever else, you know.
But I don't even drink, and I've had those discussions sober. So that don't mean nothing. I gotta have.
I'm with you on that. I'm completely with you on that. But the thing about it is just that you gotta understand that if you don't want folks in your business, you ain't got, you know what I'm saying, you can talk without telling everybody exactly what's going on. You can ask a question like, hey man, I need some advice. I got this going on, whoop-de-whoop. And if you around the right people,
that's why you know what? You need a damn therapist for that. You know why? Because you need somebody with an unbiased opinion. People that know you, they always gonna have a whole lot more to say than somebody who you just.
It just depends on the company.
But I do agree with you, Steve, because it does depend on the caliber of people in the company that you keep around you that are going to say, hey, you need to leave, or let's figure out a solution to the issue that you're having, and have you talk to the other person. It really does go off of the caliber of people and the people that you keep, company that you keep around you. I agree with you.
In my lifetime, I've had two groups of people. I've had that first group that I had to cut off because they were BSing. They almost destroyed my relationship. And then I got the guys around me that I have now that, you know what I'm saying, it's all about empowerment. We all trying to raise families and do all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's definitely about the company you keep, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, people can see what's going on and what doesn't have to be said. People already know, you know what I'm saying, what they need to do and how they need to move around.
Okay, go ahead, Trav.
So the reason I want to say this to Nita and to Tanya.
You froze. Or I froze.
I was a mom for 12 months. That's 30 grand. And let's say he has to do that for 10 years, whether it's alimony, whether it's child support, all that is cut up in that. And I'm going to tell you how we think. So this does not support what you all say about men doing that. That's $300K in 10 years. Why would I put $300K of my money that I earn daily, weekly, monthly, however you get paid, into a household that I don't control those funds, and to a woman that I no longer have sex with, in order because I just want to go free? We don't operate like that, ladies. Sorry. It is to your benefit if I do that, because my money stays with you in some fashion. That is to no benefit to me. So when you guys sit there and nod and think that that stuff that you say is really real, we don't leave relationships. It's fact. You can go look it up online. Women file for divorce 78% of the time. Men don't.
The men
That ain't my fact. That's in everywhere.
the men I know, there's some men that I know that do. Men draw women to file for divorce.
Wait, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna put my business out there. My ex-husband wanted a divorce, but he couldn't file for it. He did not want to file for divorce. So he asked me to file for divorce. So I'm being 100%. He asked me to file for divorce because he did not want to file. Why did he not want to file? Because he didn't want to look like the person who he truly is. So
Why'd you let him off the hook?
oh, he didn't get let off the hook, but I filed for divorce because once again, I was doing what he wanted to do. I was trying to make sure that he was good in what he wanted to do. So I went ahead and I filed for divorce. So it looked like I divorced him, but I did not. I was the one being divorced. And it wasn't anything that I did. And it took a long time for me to understand that it wasn't me. I didn't do anything wrong. But we have to look at those percentages too. A lot of women file for divorce, not because they want to, but because they were asked to.
That's rare, but I dig what you're saying. That's rare.
Man, I get that.
And
But you let him off the hook though.
hold on, truth be told, y'all, I got a friend at work who is separated, but they're still married. This has been going on 2 years. He told her to file.
So why can't he do it? See, I don't get that. If that's what you want, go get it.
And
I'm not a woman who finna sit here and be like, you don't get to straddle the fence with me. You need to make your mind up. Either you over here, you over there, and whichever one you pick,
And
I'm cool with.
that's why the percentages are so higher on women filing for divorce.
Yeah, because ain't nobody finna do this shit with you. I'm not a yo-yo. I'm
Let
not.
me-
Hold on. Go ahead, Tanya. Go ahead,
Let
Tanya.
me say something. I am, as Travis says that he's an advocate for men, I'm an advocate for women. Women have been socially exploited as if we go and file for divorce. And when we're not even the major players, you all are. Just like Lanita said about her story. See, you men hide behind the scene and then it all falls on the woman. When you do it statistically and you look it up, yes, the woman files because the man has coerced the woman into filing.
You're your own home wrecker. It ain't his fault. You
No.
wrecked your own home.
No, because why don't you take accountability, Travis? No, it's not necessarily that you a home wrecker because you decide this shit ain't
your own home.
The man can wreck
You
the
wrecked your
home.
own home.
The man
No,
wrecked the home.
Travis, we don't wreck our own homes. That is the craziest crap in the world. So you mean to tell me, Travis, that so this man decided he want to punch her in the face every Friday when he get his check.
Hey,
No. Allow me to finish because I'm going what you said. So hold your horse. Hold. So this dude come home every Friday, decide he gonna punch her in her face because he don't want to pay no damn bills. Then everything getting cut out, and then she decides she want a divorce. She should have never had her ass over there first. But second, you saying she wrecked her home because she decided she deserved something better than a whooped ass and lights cut off? That's some bullshit. You can put that in your party.
Let me respond. Let me respond.
Down that road.
Let me respond.
Trav, you gotta stop talking as far as all like.
Okay. Let me quickly respond to Tootie. Tootie, if a man does not take care of his family, you should divorce him.
See what you're saying is everything is conditional.
No,
does not, because you have such a sense of I'm an alpha man, I'm a this, I'm a that. So you always say, well, if a man doesn't take care of his family,
let me finish. I'm in agreement.
You just said I was listening.
I'm in agreement with you.
You just said you wrecking your own home.
No, let me finish. Let me finish quickly.
Go ahead, Trav.
If a man does not take care of you all's family, I'm 100%. Don't stay with him. If a man punches you in the mouth, don't stay with him. If a man runs off and neglects his responsibilities, don't stay with him. But I'm not speaking for them. So when I say I'm an advocate for men to be a man and do what you're supposed to do.
But your idea of a man and theirs may be completely different.
I'm not
If you
talking
are
about.
a kid, guy that grew up watching your daddy sock your mama in the face, then do you know that you shouldn't do that shit?
Hell yeah,
Is
you
in
know
you?
it.
Absolutely.
You know it.
Yeah,
You know
but
it.
what I'm saying is it's still in you. But if you beat my ass, but you pay the bills, that still doesn't justify
I
it.
ain't talking about
don't
staying
give
with
a
him.
damn.
Don't
So
stay with him.
what I want you to understand is this: you justify a lot of bullshit men do because you like, oh well, I pay the bills, I can go fuck who I want to. Well, if fucking is your deal breaker for a woman, if fucking is your deal breaker, then I get to get up and I can do whatever the hell I want to do. So you worried about $300,000, but you brought me an STD. Fuck you. All shit aside, what I'm not gonna play with is you excusing or justifying certain things because you provide shit. Fuck you and your provision. I'm gonna go and take your ass to court and let this judge give me whatever it is that I asked for. And you and this $300,000 that I'm finna get, I'm gonna politely say thank you and not fuck with you no more.
But see that big talk you giving right now, that wouldn't work with a man of my status because I wouldn't give. No, wait. Let me finish. I'll let you talk that big talk. Now I'm gonna give you something that I would do. I'll empty my bank account and go to South America and you'll get shit.
Then
See,
you
I'm
just be a
different.
bitch.
If you no, I'm trying to tell you, I'm a different breed of man. If you fuck with me, I'll move to Canada, you won't get a dime. I'll move to South America, you won't get a dime. See, I won't play by those. No, but you want it though. But you want no. I'm a bitch because you didn't want to be with me no more, and I've got to pay you for 10 years.
No, you're a bitch because you neglected
don't
the
want to deny
responsibility
it.
and you
Don't
gave
do
me a
that.
reason to leave.
How is that? Women say I'm unhappy and leave.
Okay.
I think everybody takes this conversation to the extreme, folks. I think we need to compartmentalize this just a little bit and
Remember,
understand
we're talking to a class.
that these are personal experiences that we're talking from. We can't generalize, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate Trav for being an advocate, but you know what I'm saying? But Travis is also saying that he speaks from his own self too. He's an advocate for men because he doesn't want men to be picked on or have stigmas out there about them, but he speaks from his own truth. See, Tanya does some of the same stuff.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, Steve, like Tanya and Trav, I call them War of the Roses for a reason, because Tanya is very strong-minded about women and experiences. Trav is a strong man that believes in with what he experienced, and he's not the average, and Tanya's not the average. So that's why they are here boasting opinions to you guys, because Tanya speaks like everyday woman. Travis speaks about a group of men that are like him. He don't understand the Build-A-Bear. He does not. And I've noticed that, and I've learned that through all these times speaking in podcasts. So I won't say it's 80-20 on the positive side. I'd say it's 80-20, 20% of him being that alpha, whatever, and 80% being beta.
It ain't even like the alpha thing. Like, I love the way Steve speaks about his family.
Yeah.
We've been off recording, and I've seen the kids walk around. I observe everything. I'm a real observative person. I love that. Like for example, I watched Tanya interact with, you know what I'm saying, her daughter. I salute. You know what I'm saying? And we all talk. I've seen your kids. My thing is, if a man is not being a man, Tootie, I'll say this to you. I agree. You shouldn't even fix him nothing to eat. I'm sorry.
I won't.
You shouldn't. And I'm not talking about just you, not just you, other women. But if you got a rock solid partner, and I'm talking about a man that's a bridge that's gonna help our family get to the other side.
That 20%.
Now when on that, I take no shit from a woman, zero, because I'm gonna do whatever it take, whatever, new tires. Your mama needs something, and she can't get back home. One of your teeth fell out. I'm gonna put it back in your head. I got you. I'm just keeping it 100, but I ain't taking no shit. I'm taking zero shit from you.
You make your love seem like it's only acceptable because Okay, let me figure out what it is. You make it seem like your love is conditional, and conditions being financial when you talk about a relationship. So
Dude, I ain't on that love shit though.
that's what I'm saying. So if you're in a relationship and
I got
or
a
a
duty.
marriage or whatever, you make all of your everything seem like you have an entitlement because you provide. That's how I see you.
I'm gonna
being
love
honest.
you. I'm gonna love you, but I got a duty to do in our relationship. I'm on a different thing. I ain't on just, oh baby, love. No, I'm gonna take care of you. You gonna know I love you.
I hear you. I'm just telling you what it looks like.
You know, and let me say this too. You know, I believe that Travis is a good man, a damn good man to have. However, I'm just trying to get through my brother's head that there are men out there that smokes their cigars, that drinks their brewskis, talking about leaving their woman. So there are men like that. You
But
may
they
not be that
can't.
type of man.
They can't.
See,
Still a
can't. They
They
can't
can't.
though. They
Hold on.
talk about it, but they can't.
They can't.
just talk.
Steve
just
may not be
talk.
that. Listen, my brothers. Steve may not be that type of man either, and you, Travis, may not be the type of man, or any other guys that's on the podcast. But I just need you to all to understand there are men out there that thinks the opposite from how you think.
Agreed.
And those brothers just ain't got to the promised land yet. That's real talk. But I got a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We talk all this. There's a lot of strong talk in these podcasts that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna ask y'all a question. When I talked about pulling your armor off, man, are y'all able to be vulnerable and talk about these subjects in earnest? Not about facade. It's not about ego. It's not about none of this other stuff. Can we truthfully be vulnerable and be honest about the stuff we talk about for a minute? Like, I'm cool with everybody on the podcast, but I don't think everybody's being vulnerable to what the other person is saying, and we keep our guards up. You know, nobody wants to get punched like Jordan Poole in the face by a comment. But
Right.
the thing about it is just that I think we all need to take a step back sometimes and be vulnerable in the moment. Not necessarily let your complete guard down, but let somebody feel you from the inside or feel them from the inside. And then think about these comments, because everybody comes out super hard and all this other stuff. I'm like, are we really listening? Are we actually participating in this? Or we just want to get our view out there till we feel
No. So here's the thing. Everybody, you're a different breed, Steve, and Trav is a different breed. And I have and Tanya and Tootie and Lanita and myself. So our podcast is about opinions, y'all. We all have very strong opinions. And that's what this is for, because there are many people in this life that have these type of opinions. Some men think their shit don't stink and they this and they that, but then you got him running away from doing things that he's supposed to be doing, but he's still all this and all that. That's that 80%. Then you got these 20% men who took care of this, who took care of that, who is doing this, who is doing that. And that's the caliber of men that Trav speaks to. Then you got Tanya, who is speaking to the women and the men, like for real, like y'all really think like that? Because it's hard to accept when these different opinions are coming together. You know what I mean? So when you have certain opinions on different caliber of men or caliber of women, bringing it all together, it's a little hard. But
the thing about it is that y'all gotta understand that we don't readily understand some of the stuff that you ladies talk about, because that's not something that's in our characters or makeup. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's generalized, and as in just saying men. And it's like, well, we don't even get it. Like, I've heard Travis say plenty of times, he's like, I don't understand that because that's not the way I believe this. It's hard for us to understand that because we just don't, that's just not in us. So and that's why us being real and honest. So like when you get those opinions, sometimes you get the emotions because like it's generalized. We're like, hold up, that ain't me.
Steve, listen, which is why each one teach one. Go ahead, Tanya.
Let me say this, you know, true adults, we value each other's opinion and we agree to disagree. Now, each and one of us on this panel has been raised completely different. My parents were partners. My parents were partners. And I don't know about anybody else, but I respect the fact whatever their parents are, or whatever their opinion is, then I must respect that.
My mom was a single mom. My dad wasn't in the picture really. So
Exactly.
So I know about strong women. Go ahead, Trav.
Yo, so it's what gets me is, and I respect, like, let me say, I respect the different opinions, and I enjoy listening to, because, like I said, I was raised differently. But there are catchphrases that women say all the time. They say things like, "I think I feel narcissist, vulnerable," and
Because
like
they're
I challenge men sometimes to understand that these words are not the way we think. And if that's being thought because your woman says, I want you to be more sensitive or you to be more vulnerable. But if you look at the definition of vulnerable, that you wouldn't want, you don't want that from a man. You want him to be open with you and tell you what he's really thinking.
Mhm.
But you don't want that. That's not the pillar of stability or strength that you want in your house as your man. That definition. And those are catchphrases that you all have placed off on a cut. And you got brothers saying that. Oh, he's a narcissist. Most men are.
Mm.
Well, I don't think that vulnerable is something that you want all the time, but I think in certain spaces that is required. Now, if you equate being
You'd
vulnerable
rather
with
for me to
like,
respect you.
Oh,
You
what-
rather
what
for me
is
to
that?
respect you. You would rather for me to respect you than to be vulnerable. I will respect you if you're my woman. Being vulnerable, I'm not gonna be there. That's silly.
And read that
Okay,
definition,
so
Travis.
let me
Read the
say this.
definition.
Hold on. Let Tootie finish. Let Tootie finish.
So, okay, so let's say something happens to one of your kids or your parent or something like that. Is crying, is that being vulnerable to you? Or is that something that you flat out won't do?
If something happens to a child,
Your
To
child.
one of your kids, your parents, or somebody really close to you.
that's when it's acceptable.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think a woman wants you to be vulnerable 24/7. But if you hurt, I want you to, I'm here, I'm your shoulder. Come on over here, blow a boog on my shirt or whatever. So it's not that I expect you to be a superhero all day. A crybaby all day. I want you to be you, but in times of, I need to this X, Y, and Z, I don't want you to push me away because you're embarrassed that you need to cry and you don't want me to see you do.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from. The definition reads
Which definition of what?
vulnerable,
Okay.
in need of special care, support, or protection because of age, disability, or risk, or of abuse or neglect. That's not what I want to present to you as my woman.
Yeah. And I think people, I'm not gonna say just women, I think that word is used in a sense that it's not.
What's
Right.
Like if you say I would rather you be open with me
I want you
or
to be
transparent,
Yeah.
I think those are better words, but vulnerable.
Always respectful of my feelings. I
Okay.
can do that. Me being vulnerable, nah.
What's the
Thanks
definition?
for reading the
Hold on.
definition, because
What's-
reading the definition adds that light to it.
What's the definition of a narcissist?
Let's look that up.
Look it up. Somebody look that up. Definition of a narcissist.
Someone who don't think they're wrong.
Define narcissist.
Always.
It's time.
Person who
Yes.
has an excessive interest
I
in
would.
admiration of themselves.
I love you too, Travis.
What is the definition of a narcissist?
A person who has excessive interest or admiration for themselves.
I told you.
So
A
there,
person that doesn't have empathy.
Most successful men are narcissists. That's a fact.
so
Somebody it
most
says here for people, hold on.
most successful men or most men in general?
Yeah, most
Well,
men.
Men have a touch of, all men have a touch. But successful men, you have to have that chip, and you can't really care about that. You know what I mean? Like I saw something online, and the guy was saying that 80% of people are sheep. They just go along with whatever. And then you have, sheepdog, and you have wolves, the people that are in jail that do whatever. And the other 10% and people get them confused. It's some people that are not bad people, but their own They're not compassionate to every little thing. They're like, I got a purpose. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. So, I look at it a little bit differently. You know what I mean? I think if you're taking care of, I'm gonna go back to what we say. I'm big on that. If you're taking care of a family, you got little room for error. You can't make a lot of mistakes, because you make mistakes, you mess somebody's life up. So I take that really serious as a man.
Hold on, Tootie. And I know we're going a little overtime, but I have one other question with how do you ask outside folks to respect your relationship? What if it's your children? How do you,
How old are they?
let's say under 21?
I want,
Then you got-
depending
then
on
you-
what they see.
Yeah, depending on what they see is how you present it.
I
But
mean,
if they having babies and committing crimes, you tell them to get the fuck back too.
Well, I don't think Travis, you don't strike me as the kind of guy who have kids that would have babies and commit crimes. So
No,
your
but
daughter
I'm
told
saying-
you something about whoever it is that you date, and they like, well, Daddy, I don't like how she's X, Y, and Z. I don't like this, this, and that. And they have, I mean, they're entitled to say what they think, but you also have the same authority to listen or make a decision on based on what it is that they have to say. You see what I'm saying?
But Tootie, how old are they though?
Under
Oh, well, I mean, they teenagers, they 16, 17.
Okay, I gotta respect that. But again, if you stand out late and you got old liquor on your breath when you wake up and you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you stand in my house and you doing what you want to do, I don't give a good goddamn what you feel like. This woman here is in, she in here making steak. What you doing? Get your ass out of here.
Go ahead, Tanya.
I totally disagree, because if you fight in front of a kid or argue in front of the kid, quite naturally, you have involved that child into the situation. So quite naturally, they're going to have an opinion, whether they have old liquor on their breath or whatever the case is. A child is not going to let a mother or even a father be harmed, depending on that child. So you invite that child into your relationship where you're venting in front of that child. So you can't ask that child to stay out of it. You brought it to him or her.
So let me ask you this, hypothetically. You got a 30-year-old son. He's back and forth in that house.
Under 21.
Okay. I thought, okay, but okay. Under 21. Still, if you got a disrespectful kid, they're like, what do you do with that?
Well, are you disrespecting the mom? Is something's going on in the relationship where y'all are disrespecting one another? Because quite naturally, a child is always going to gravitate towards the mom, most likely. So if the child feels that the mom is being harmed in any type of way,
Is that
They're going to try to
if that's the biological father, it's not gonna go like that anyway.
Well, that's if the father is a father. That's if the
Yeah.
father is very involved. If he's not involved, it depends, because the women, 80-20 Trav's rule, 80% of the time women have the children. So 80% of the time that the women have the children and the dad disrespects them, then how does the kid respect the dad if they're
Biological?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, if it's the biological, here's the thing. If it's the biological, and a lot of people might not like what I'm saying, you're supposed to pick your husband over your kids. The marriage came before the kids.
Not necessarily if they're not married.
Your kids are not more important. Your kids ain't more important than your marriage. If that's their biological.
But what if they're not married?
Well, you need to get married.
No.
Hey, I'm just gonna jump in here. I'm tired of holding my damn hand up.
Go ahead, Steve, because everybody
Here's
else,
my language.
go ahead. Shit.
Hey, I'm gonna give it to y'all real. Like, the perspective that I have on is that I try not to include my son in none of what me and my wife got going on. We try to talk outside of him, let him go to school. Sometimes conversations happen in front of him that we try to keep as mature as possible. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that, I grew up where my father wasn't in the household, so I had to deal with my stepfather. By the time that my mom and my stepfather, I was like 12. You know, by that time, I'm already in my phase. I'm starting to feel myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm this and I'm that. So me and my stepfather used to get into it all the time. Now they understand that kind of thing until me and him got into it to the point one day where he left my mom's. She looked at me with the most serious look in her face, and she said, hey, he makes me happy. When he's not here, I'm unhappy. If I'm unhappy, you're unhappy. I said,
What?
I had to think about that legit thing. And I was like, and you know what I'm saying? We had to come together as, you know what I'm saying, a young man to a man, because I was still like 16, 17 at that point. And we had to figure it out. Like, we cool. We ain't got that father-son thing going on. We respect each other, you know. And then once I got older, I was like, man, this y'all house. This ain't my house. This is my mother's house. Whatever y'all want to do, y'all gonna do. It's on y'all. Yes, y'all relationship. That's y'all marriage. Y'all do what y'all do. I got my own stuff going on. I'm like, y'all do y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand, you got to keep your kids safe. But then when you get to a certain age, you got to understand that, shoot, it ain't your place.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tootie.
Oh, like, and I was gonna say that because my mom and dad, like I said, they split up and they both got remarried within 3 months of each other to their current spouses. But my mom, no matter, even with the situation with my dad, she was like, you don't have to like her, but no matter what, you're gonna respect her. And that was always, my mama preached that, even to my stepmom. She was like, you don't have to like her. I don't care. But and the same for my stepfather. You don't have to like either one of them, but you're gonna respect them because they're grown, they're gonna be here, X, Y, and Z. But gratefully, I got good step parents. So that was never an issue because I liked both of my step parents and I love both of my step parents. But my mama's thing, even as a kid, and I'm talking from the age of 7, when they finally split up, we knew who my daddy's girlfriend was. We knew who my mama's boyfriend was. We didn't have to like either one of them because, you know, kids want like, I want my parents back together. Oh, they weren't interested in that. And I get it, but you gonna respect it. And that was my mama's thing. So I think if you put that in your kids, you don't have to like people, but you still need to respect them until they get disrespectful to you.
True. But you said one big thing. Your dad married the lady, your mom married a guy. That was her husband. That was his wife. He wasn't a boyfriend.
I mean, I'm saying, but they didn't get married. Both of them got married when I was 9.
That's what I'm saying.
At the age of 7, when they were just dating, my mama still came in and said, no matter what, you're gonna respect.
Right.
Even if they don't stay.
And you were supposed to respect him, but he got an extra amount of respect because I'm glad he became your stepfather and they married. And that's what I'm saying.
I don't remember not knowing my stepfather. I've known him all my life.
There you go. So it's a different mindset. If you've got a boyfriend, a random boyfriend that's got a wife beater on, he in the refrigerator, he ain't gonna get that respect. If you got a chick walking around with booty shorts on in your house, she ain't gonna get that respect. And that's what I'm saying. It depends on how you present it to the kids.
Exactly.
And if you're under 21, I understand that is your job as a parent. I'm just saying, on the other side of that, the 20-plus-year-old that's talking shit and saying, oh, this is my mama house. Yeah. He's a problem. He's a problem.
Mama got to have a life too, Jody.
All right, Jody.
Or the young lady that's bringing babies and handing them off to y'all, and you a step granddaddy, which is a bowl of nothing.
That's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic.
We're gonna talk about that.
I think too is how everything is presented. If a girlfriend or boyfriend is being brought into a situation and the kids are not being respectful to a parent, then there shouldn't be a girlfriend or boyfriend brought into that situation. That parent needs to be focusing on repairing the relationship with that child because that child's being disrespectful before they even bring another person into that child's life, because that child clearly needs something other than another person bringing in that person's life. Like, I think it's how it's presented. I don't think that
presentation is key.
Yeah,
no,
I think it's how it's presented.
I agree with that. My mom was one of those kind of folks. So like, with me being her oldest, I got to see her go through a lot. You know what I'm saying? But she always raised us both to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? So like, even if it was some gentleman that came around, she was like, this is Mr. Johnson. And that's how you call him. That's what you refer to him as. And, you know, and that was it. You know, there was no room for, who is this guy? None of that shit. You know, and that's what she wanted it to be because that's the way we were raised.
Steve, did he discipline you?
Nah. But it stayed in the lane it needed to stay in. until she met my stepfather, and that's where, like I said, we kind of got sideways.
No, I'm saying, did your stepfather discipline you?
Very lightly. There was only so much he could do.
How old was it when he came around? How old were you when he came around?
Like 11 or 12. So, you know, there was only gonna be so much he could say. There's only gonna be so much he could say or do, because like I ain't never been one to hold my tongue, and I ain't never been one that, you know, feel like I had to be soft for anybody else.
Listen,
Especially when I've been with my mother so long, and you know what I'm saying, and I felt like I've had to protect her for so long. Not that I was trying to be her man, but you know, I just didn't want. I seen my stepfather beat my mom. You know what I'm saying? I jumped in the middle of that. So you know, my thing is that she could do what she do, but I was like, I just want her to be safe. That was my biggest thing. It ain't about her not being with a guy or nothing like that. Always, safety was always my biggest thing with her. But she always wanted me to respect the people that she.
Wait. I'm sorry. You saw him put his hands on her?
I saw my stepfather. No, me and my brother had different fathers. So she was married to my brother's father. And they had a horrible, I guess, like you said, when it was good, it was good. But when it was bad, it was really bad. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, you know, like, I put like this. I ain't never been one to see another man put his hands on a woman. So for me to see it up close and personal, I would jump in the middle of that. He a whole grown man. I'm like 6, 7 years old.
Go ahead.
In the middle of that situation. You know, this is what it was. So this next time when she got married, when she met my current stepfather.
Stepfathers, right?
Yeah. When my current stepfather, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a whole lot of tolerance for anything crazy. And then I'm also like, I'm coming to my own too, you know what I'm saying? At 13, 14, you starting to feel yourself. You starting to, you know what I'm saying, stretch out a little bit. So we bumped heads on a lot of stuff until one day it just boiled over. And I was just like, hey, and I told him, I was like,
listen, like we're going off topic because Trav, that's the step parent topic that we gonna do. Whew, that was a lot, Steve. You're gonna be on that topic, shit. Because I got a lot to say, but I don't want to go over time. So each one teach one. What we talk about today on this podcast?
Whole bunch of good shit.
We did. We kind of maneuvered in different avenues on this one, y'all. Like, I love it, but sometimes we got to stay on topic because we got so much more coming. So can you be in love and be unhappy at the same time? The answer is, we all agree, yes, you can, right?
Right.
How do you
For the most part.
How do you ask outside folks to respect your relationship?
Stay the fuck back.
Stay out, folks. If you're not, you can't speak on it, don't speak on it.
Draw a line in the sand.
Stop venting to others and gossiping.
Make everybody stand behind that line. Everybody.
And keep the right folks around you.
Tootie, Lanita.
Oh, you know me. I'm like, don't put them in your business. Nobody has an opinion when they don't know what to talk about.
That's right.
I agree with Travis, drawing the line. And if you do have people around you, it needs to be at the caliber of people that is going to support your best interest, and not try to put you in a bad situation. But definitely drawing a line and setting boundaries.
Yes, boundaries. That part.
Another one of them women word, boundaries.
It's the truth.
Where y'all get them words from, boy?
Y'all create them too. Stop playing.
Nah.
Stop playing. All right, y'all.
Has anybody ever told you look like MC Brains? He was cute. He was a rapper, but you look like MC Brains.
I know what you know.
You see it, don't you?
Look him
Who
up.
the hell is MC Brains?
Look him up. Because you're looking like him. I'm like, damn, you look like MC Brains.
All right, y'all. On that note, I love y'all. Let us speak truth. Subscribe on YouTube. Until Wednesday, we're out of here, y'all. One love.
Deuces.